Tomorrow is your last chance to vote in the primary election in Colorado. By the end of tomorrow, we should know who will compete in our state's next governor's race and who is in the running for a number of other positions. Now, national political watchers are watching Colorado to see which agenda items are going to swing voters toward one candidate or the other. And this year's election is different than we've seen before. 2 years ago, Coloradans decided that unaffiliated voters could vote in the primary. So what will the result of that change look like? Denver 7's Sally Mamdouh is live outside the Denver Election Commission. Sally?
And Shannon, the Secretary of State tells me he couldn't really give me any numbers to compare it to past years because, like you said, this is the first time unaffiliated voters are voting in the primaries. They tell me the process has been going very smooth without a glitch. However, some unaffiliated voters, Shannon, are choosing to wait till November. Just a day ahead of Colorado's 2018 primary election, and for the first time, the Office of Secretary of State count sheet is including unaffiliated voters.
Proposition 108 provided that unaffiliated voters would have the opportunity to vote in either the Democrat or the Republican primary.
And as of Monday, Secretary of State Wayne Williams says that out of the over 800,000 Coloradans who have voted, nearly 200,000 of them are unaffiliated voters. Sean McGorry is one of those voters.
I just voted for the people who I felt were just the most appropriate.
But not all unaffiliated voters plan to flock to the polls Tuesday. A study done by Williams' office back in December shows more than a third of unaffiliated voters said they don't plan to vote in the primary election because they don't have much information on the candidates and they don't want to have to pick a party. But how about privacy? We asked the Secretary of State whether unaffiliated voters fear their ballot is public record, meaning anyone can see which party they voted for. He says he received very little concern from only a handful group of people.
I haven't actually had anyone contact me who wasn't connected in some way to the elections process or a journalist.
Williams couldn't tell us if unaffiliated voter turnout is high or low due to the lack of numbers to compare it to from last year. But the addition, too, of the unaffiliated voters to the count will pump up the turnout numbers. And again, today is the last day to mail in your ballots. Tomorrow, you'll have to come here and drop it off no later than 7 o'clock. We are live in Denver. Sally Mamdouh, Denver 7.
Thank you, Sally.